I thought sending my grocery list to the wrong email was the worst mistake of my life, until a feared Mafia boss showed up at my door with every item and white lilies that would change everything. What I didn't know was that my abusive ex had just made a deal with the Russian mob to use me as bait, and the man who filled my empty fridge was about to become the only thing standing between my little brother and a bullet. But here's the thing about falling for someone who kills for a living. When they love you, they'll burn the whole world down to keep you safe. And when I kissed him for the first time with my traumatized 7-year-old brother sleeping between us, I realized I wasn't just choosing love. I was choosing a life where groceries come with bodyguards and bedtime stories end with loaded guns. If you're watching this and you've ever had to choose between safety and freedom, subscribe and tell me. Would you trade your old life for protection from a man whose enemies become your enemies the moment you say yes? My shift ended at midnight. The diner clock ticked past the hour while I counted $23 in tips. Leo's inhaler cost $40. Maya, you okay? Sarah asked from behind the counter. Fine. I wasn't fine. Nothing was fine when you had to choose between medicine and groceries. I stuffed the crumpled bills into my apron pocket. The staff room smelled like burnt coffee and broken dreams. My phone screen was cracked down the middle, held together with tape. I opened my email to type out our weekly grocery list for the church pantry. Milk, bread, peanut butter, rice. Leo's inhaler, refill if possible. My fingers shook from exhaustion. The send button felt heavy under my thumb. I locked up and walked 6 blocks to our building. The streetlights flickered. A rat scurried across the sidewalk. This neighborhood wasn't safe, but it was cheap. Leo waited on the second-floor landing. His 7-year-old face was pale in the hallway light. He hadn't spoken more than 5 words since our parents died. Hey, baby. I pulled him close. Ready for bed? He nodded against my shoulder. His breathing wheezed slightly. The inhaler was almost empty. At our door, I stopped. A paper bag sat against the frame. White lilies poked out the top. Maya felt confused. Someone had delivered groceries to our door. Every item from my list was there. Milk, bread, peanut butter, rice. Even a box containing Leo's inhaler. What's this? I whispered. Leo touched one of the lily petals. He didn't flinch. That was progress. I looked down the hallway. Empty. Who would do this? The church pantry had never delivered before. Something shifted in my chest. Fear mixed with hope. I gathered the bag and hurried Leo inside. The morning brought more questions. I couldn't stop thinking about the groceries, about the lilies, about Leo's gentle touch on the flower. I marched downstairs with the bag. Someone was playing games with us. I didn't need charity. I worked for everything we had. An unmarked car idled at the curb. Black paint, tinted windows. The engine purred expensive. A man stepped out. Tall, broad shoulders, dark hair. His suit cost more than I made in 3 months. His eyes found mine across the distance. Maya felt nervous. Her stomach tightened. He walked toward me with measured steps. No hurry. Complete confidence. You must be Maya. His voice was deep, calm. Who's asking? Luca Moretti. He stopped 3 feet away. You sent an email to my private alias by mistake. I clutched the bag tighter. I sent it to the church. Technical error. Your email bounced and forwarded. He gestured to the groceries. I filled your list. We don't take charity. Something shifted in his expression. It isn't charity. It's correction. His eyes were dark brown. They didn't look away when I stared back. I don't understand. You asked for help. Help arrived. He pulled out a business card. Plain white. Just his name and a phone number. Keep this. Why? Because you might need it. I wanted to argue, to hand back the groceries and slam the door. But Leo needed that inhaler. Maya felt torn between pride and necessity. "Thank you," I said quietly. Luca nodded once and walked back to his car. The engine started smooth as silk. He drove away without looking back. Upstairs, Leo was drawing at our small table. He'd placed one lily in a cup of water. The white petals caught the morning light. Through our window, I saw a shadow across the street. Someone watching our building. The next evening, I dumped trash for the diner manager. The alley stank of grease and old food. My shift had been brutal. 8 hours on my feet for $32 in tips. Footsteps echoed behind me, too close. "Maya." Trevor's voice made my skin crawl. I turned. My ex-boyfriend leaned against the brick wall, greasy brown hair, bloodshot eyes, the same smirk he wore when he used to hit me. "What do you want, Trevor?" "What you owe me." He pushed off the wall, stepped closer. "I don't owe you anything. Rent money, groceries, all those times I paid your way." His palm slapped against the wall beside my face. "Time to settle up." Maya felt scared. Her breath caught. "Stay away from me." "Or what?" He leaned in. His breath smelled like beer and cigarettes. "You'll call the cops? They don't care about your neighborhood." A heavier shadow cut across the alley mouth. Larger footsteps. Someone clearing their throat. "Walk home. Now." The voice was calm, final. Trevor jerked back. A mountain of a man filled the alley entrance. Expensive jacket. Cold eyes. "This is private business," Trevor said. "No, it isn't." The mountain took one step forward. Trevor scrambled backward. His bravado crumbled. "This isn't over," he called as he ran. The mountain watched him go. Then he approached me with careful movements, like approaching a scared animal. "Enzo Ricci." He didn't offer his hand. "You're safe now." "Who sent you?" Instead of answering, he placed a card on the dumpster lid. The same plain white card Luca had given me. "Walk straight home. Don't stop." Enzo's voice was quiet. "Someone will be watching." I clutched the card and hurried out of the alley. My hands shook the whole way home. 2 days later, a knock came at dinner time. Leo and I were eating peanut butter sandwiches at our tiny table. Luca stood in our doorway. He held a grocery bag and a piece of paper covered in neat handwriting. "May I come in?" I stepped aside. He filled our small kitchen with his presence. "Soup?" he said, unpacking ingredients. "Leo needs to eat more. He's picky." "All children are picky. The trick is making food they want." Luca moved through our kitchen with purpose. He diced onions with precise cuts, added chicken and vegetables to our old pot. The recipe was written in careful block letters. Leo watched from the table. His eyes followed every movement. An older woman appeared in our doorway, gray hair and a neat bun, kind eyes. "This is Rosa," Luca said. "She helps with domestic matters." Rosa smiled at Leo. She placed a soft blue blanket on his chair without a word. Leo touched the fabric. His fingers explored the smooth weave. Luca's phone buzzed. The screen lit with a photo, a little girl with dark curls, maybe 4 years old. She held white lilies in her tiny hands. Luca's hand trembled. Just once. He killed the screen and shoved the phone away. The soup simmered. The kitchen filled with rich smells. Leo slid off his chair and stood beside Luca. He watched the wooden spoon stir clockwise. 30 more minutes, Luca told him. Leo nodded. His eyes were brighter than I'd seen in months. When the soup was ready, Leo ate a full bowl. No complaints, no pushing food around his plate. He just ate. "Thank you," I whispered. Luca nodded and cleaned our dishes. Rosa folded the blanket and left it on Leo's chair. They both left without asking for anything. Maya felt grateful. Something shifted in her chest again. The morning rush at the diner was chaos. Coffee orders, breakfast plates, grumpy customers who didn't tip. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number, a photo of our building's front door. The message was one word: open. My blood turned cold. I called the number. No answer. Maya felt panicked. Her heart pounded. Luca appeared at booth 6 like he'd been summoned. He wore a different suit today. Charcoal gray, perfect fit. Show me, he said. I handed him my phone. He studied the photo with calm eyes. When? 5 minutes ago. He stood. We go now? I can't leave work. Yes, you can. His voice was absolute, final. Maya felt torn between fear and defiance. We walked to my building in silence. Luca's eyes moved constantly, scanning rooftops, checking cars, alert to every detail. At our front door, he stopped, crouched beside the trash bins. A brick was tucked behind the metal. Containers. Red paint covered one end. A message, Luca said. What kind of message? The kind that means you're not safe here anymore. His eyes found mine, dark and serious. I have a solution. The next evening, Trevor tried the stairwell again. I was carrying groceries up to our apartment. My legs ached from the long shift. He stepped out from the second-floor landing, blocked the stairs. Miss me? His smile was sharp, predatory. Move. Come on, Maya. We were good together. He reached for my arm. I gripped the railing. No, we weren't. Don't be difficult. His fingers closed around my wrist. Too tight. Pain shot up my arm. Let go. Or what? Footsteps echoed from above. Enzo appeared at the top of the stairs. He didn't speak, didn't move. Just looked at Trevor. Trevor's grip loosened. His face went pale. Smart choice, Enzo said quietly. Trevor released me and backed down the stairs. His tough guy act crumbled under Enzo's stare. This isn't over, he hissed. Yes, it is, Enzo said. After Trevor left, I climbed the remaining steps. My apartment door was open. Leo sat at the table with homework spread around him. A small camera sat beside his pencils, unplugged, harmless. A note was attached in neat block letters. Not yours, now mine. Maya felt watched. Her skin crawled. The next morning, I found Luca on the street outside the diner. He leaned against a lamppost like he belonged there. I marched over and shoved the camera into his hands. Explain this. He didn't deny anything, didn't make excuses. Eyes keep you safe. Safety shouldn't feel like a cage. You're right. He breathed once, deep and measured. Then let's change the lock and not your life. We stared at each other. Maya felt defiant, her chin lifted. I won't be controlled. I'm not trying to control you. I'm trying to protect you. Same thing. No, it isn't. The conversation felt important, bigger than just cameras and safety, like we were negotiating something fundamental. A crash of glass echoed from above, our apartment window. Someone screaming in the distance. Luca moved before my brain processed the sound. He was across the street and up the stairs in seconds. I followed, my heart hammering. Our front door hung open. Glass covered the kitchen floor. Leo huddled under the table. Tears streaked his face. Luca reached him first. He pulled Leo against his chest and shielded him with his body. His voice was soft, gentle. You're safe. I've got you. Leo's sobs were silent, his small hands fisted in Luca's jacket. Sirens wailed in the distance. Neighbors shouted from other apartments. The chaos felt overwhelming. Luca's voice cut through everything, low and absolute. We leave, now! I tried to pack our things. Clothes, photos, Leo's drawings. Just shoes and inhaler, Luca said. Enzo's in the hall. Leo kept the lily clutched in his fist. His other hand held tight to Luca's shirt. In the car, Leo curled against my side. The lily was wilted, but he wouldn't let go. Maya felt displaced. Everything familiar was gone. Where are we going? Somewhere safe. The townhouse was on the river. Clean brick, tall windows, iron gates that looked decorative but weren't. This was money. Real money. In the foyer, I noticed a tiny bracelet in a shadow box by the door. Pink beads with a name engraved on silver. Isabella. Luca saw me looking. His jaw tightened. He turned away fast, but not fast enough to hide the pain. Maya felt curious. Something important lived in that bracelet. Rosa appeared with warm towels and gentle words. She led us upstairs to a guest room. The ceiling had glow-in-the-dark stars. The sheets smelled like sunshine. Leo released the lily long enough to touch the soft pillowcase. His eyes were heavy with exhaustion. "House rules," Luca said from the doorway. "Check-ins every few hours. No solo walks. Phone on loud at all times." My independence bristled. "Sounds like prison rules. Rules that keep you free are not chains." His voice was firm, final. Maya felt cornered. "For how long?" "Until it's safe." "When will that be?" Luca was quiet for a long moment. "Soon." Enzo appeared behind him. His face was grim. "Trevor was seen with Sokolov men, near your old building." The name meant nothing to me, but Luca's expression darkened. "How many?" "2, maybe 3. "Weapons?" "Unknown." Maya felt scared. These weren't neighborhood thugs. This was something bigger. Dangerous. "What does that mean?" I asked. Luca looked at Leo, who was falling asleep against the pillows. His voice dropped to a whisper. "It means they're using Trevor to get to you, and they won't stop until they have what they want." "What do they want?" "Leverage." His eyes found mine. "Against me." The room went quiet. Outside, the river moved in the darkness. Inside, everything had changed. We weren't just hiding from Trevor anymore. We were hiding from people who made Trevor look harmless. Leo's breathing evened out. Sleep claimed him fast. The lily rested on the pillow beside his face. Luca stood in the doorway longer than necessary. His eyes lingered on Leo's peaceful expression. Something soft moved across his features before he pulled the door almost closed. Maya felt grateful, but trapped. Safe, but caged. The contradiction sat heavy in my chest. Through the window, the city lights twinkled across the water. Our old life was over there somewhere. Broken glass and unpaid bills and memories I wanted to forget. This new life felt uncertain, dangerous in different ways. But Leo was breathing easy. He'd eaten soup and touched soft things and fallen asleep without nightmares. Maybe that was enough for now. The next morning, Rosa showed us the full guest room. Soft towels, a window seat overlooking the garden. Leo ran his fingers along the glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling. "These are beautiful," I said. Rosa smiled. Isabella loved them. The name from the bracelet, Luca's daughter. "Breakfast is at 8, Rosa said. "Luca insists on cooking." "He cooks?" "He tries." Her eyes twinkled. "Results vary?" Downstairs, smoke billowed from the kitchen. Luca stood at the stove with a spatula. A pan of burnt pancakes sat on the counter. "I can flip these," he said with complete confidence. Leo giggled. The sound was so rare it stopped everyone. Maya felt hopeful. Her chest loosened. "Let me help," I offered. "You're a guest. Guests sit." His voice was firm, final, but his eyes were gentle when he looked at Leo. "Watch this technique," Luca told my brother. He flipped a pancake high in the air. It landed folded in half. Luca stared at it like it had personally betrayed him. Leo covered his mouth. His shoulders shook with silent laughter. Again, Leo whispered. The word was so quiet I almost missed it. Luca froze with the spatula halfway to the pan. Again? He asked. Leo nodded. Luca flipped another pancake. This one hit the ceiling. Leo's laugh burst out loud and clear. Maya felt grateful. Something shifted in her chest. When syrup dripped onto Luca's white cuff, he laughed too, soft and surprised, like he'd forgotten how. Later, Enzo gave me a tour. The house was bigger than it looked. Security cameras in every hallway, thick windows, 2 guards outside, but none inside. The code here is simple, Enzo said. Loyalty, silence, tea at 4 with Rosa. We stopped at the pantry, shelves lined with enough food for months, canned goods, pasta, medicine. Why so much? I asked. Luca believes in preparation. For what? Everything. Maya felt curious. Enzo's answers raised more questions. What happened to Isabella? Enzo's face went stone still. Ask him yourself. That evening, Leo fell asleep with a picture book. Luca paused at the bedroom doorway. His eyes lingered on my brother's peaceful face. He's safe here, I said. Yes. Thank you. Luca nodded and started to leave. He stopped when he reached the stairs. Maya? Yes? Your brother spoke today. I know. First time since you arrived? First time in months. Something shifted in his expression, pain mixed with hope. Children heal faster than adults, he said quietly. Sometimes. Always, if they feel safe. His voice carried weight, experience, loss. Maya felt drawn to ask more. But Luca disappeared down the stairs before I could speak. The next morning brought burnt pancakes again. Luca attacked the stove with determination. Leo sat at the kitchen island, swinging his legs. I could teach you, I offered. I can learn this. Or you could accept help. I don't need help. Maya felt amused. His stubbornness was almost charming. Everyone needs help sometimes. Luca flipped a pancake. It landed on the floor. Leo burst into giggles. Okay, Luca said. Maybe I need help. We cooked together. My hands guided his on the spatula. His movements were too fast, too forceful. I showed him patience, gentle turns. Cooking is about timing, I said. I understand timing. Not this kind. Our fingers touched on the panhandle. Maya felt aware of his warmth, his size, the way he moved with controlled power. This kind requires trust, I said. Trust in what? The process. He looked at me then. Really looked. His eyes were dark and serious. I'm not good at trusting the process. I noticed. Leo clapped when the first perfect pancake emerged. Golden brown, fluffy edges. Again, he said clearly. Luca almost dropped the spatula. Progress came in small words and bright smiles. After breakfast, I found Luca alone at the kitchen table. He rolled something between his fingers, the pink bracelet from the foyer. Maya felt careful. This was sacred ground. Isabella, I said softly. His hand stilled. Yes. She was your daughter. She is my daughter. Present tense, like she was still here. What happened? Luca was quiet for a long moment. The silence stretched between us. 3 years ago, car accident. His voice was flat, empty. Driver was drunk. She was coming home from dance class. Maya felt heartbroken. Her eyes stung. She was 4, loved white lilies, drew pictures of flowers on everything. He held up the bracelet. Last gift I bought her. I'm sorry. I wasn't there. I was working. Always working. The bracelet caught the light. She died alone in a hospital while I finished a business meeting. That's not your fault, isn't it? His eyes met mine. Raw pain lived there. Guilt that had festered for years. Children die in accidents every day. You couldn't have prevented it. I could have been there. Being there wouldn't have changed the outcome. It would have changed everything for me. Maya felt drawn to comfort him, to reach across the table, but Luca stood abruptly. I have work to do. He left the bracelet on the table. It seemed too small, too fragile, a symbol of love that outlasted life. That afternoon, my phone buzzed with a calendar invite. Unknown sender. The message was simple. Tomorrow, noon, alone. Maya felt nervous. Her stomach tightened. I showed Enzo the message. Could be anyone, he said. Could be Trevor. Could be worse. His calm voice didn't match the tension in his shoulders. What do we do? We wait. We watch. That's it. Sometimes waiting is the hardest part. The next morning, Leo spoke 3 full sentences. He asked for orange juice, commented on the weather, told Rosa her cooking smelled good. Each word felt precious. Maya felt proud. Luca watched every interaction. His eyes tracked Leo's movements. When my brother smiled, something soft crossed Luca's face. He's getting better, I said. Children are resilient. You keep saying that? Because it's true. But his voice carried sadness, like resilience was something he'd lost. Around 11, I told Enzo I needed fresh air. A walk around the block. Not happening, he said. I'm going stir crazy. Better crazy than dead. 5 minutes, with you watching. No. Maya felt frustrated. Her jaw tightened. I'm not a prisoner. Today you are. I tried to argue, to push back, but the calendar invite made everything feel dangerous. At noon exactly, my phone rang. Unknown number. Maya. Trevor's voice made my skin crawl. What do you want? To talk. We have nothing to discuss. I think we do, about your new boyfriend, about the little boy you're hiding. Maya felt terrified. My blood turned cold. Stay away from us. Can't do that. See, I owe some people money, and they think you might be worth something to the right buyer. I don't know what you're talking about. Sure you do. Rich guy, fancy car, takes in strays. Trevor's laugh was ugly. Question is, how much will he pay to get you back? The line went dead. Maya felt panicked. Her breath caught. I found Luca in his study. Dark wood furniture, tall bookshelves. He looked up from papers spread across his desk. Trevor called, I said. His body went still, predatory. What did he say? I repeated the conversation word for word. Luca's expression darkened with each detail. He's working with the Sokolovs, he said quietly. Who are they? Russian outfit. They run drugs through the port district. He stood slowly. They've been trying to muscle in on our territory for months. Our territory? Maya felt confused. The pieces weren't fitting together. I should have told you sooner. Luca walked to the window. I run the Moretti family. We control shipping, legal and otherwise. You're telling me you're actually in the Mafia. I'm telling you I'm exactly who you thought I was. The room felt smaller, the air thicker. So when Trevor grabbed me in the alley, you became valuable, not because of who you are, because of who's protecting you. Maya felt used, manipulated. This is all about business. It started that way. And now? Luca turned from the window. His eyes found mine. Now it's personal. That evening, Leo drew pictures at the kitchen table. He'd found colored pencils in his room. The paper was covered with flowers, white lilies with green stems. These are beautiful, Rosa said. Leo smiled. Like Isabella's. Maya felt touched. He was connecting with the little girl who'd lived here before. Luca appeared in the doorway. He saw the drawing and froze. May I? He asked Leo. My brother nodded and handed over the paper. Luca studied the flowers. His hand trembled just once. She would have loved these. he said softly. Can we put them on the refrigerator? Of course. They hung the drawing next to the house rules. It looked right there, like it belonged. The next afternoon, I tried to leave again. Just for groceries. For normalcy. I made it to the front door before Enzo appeared. Where are we going? I need to get out of here. No, you don't. Yes, I do. I'm suffocating. Maya felt trapped. Her chest tightened. I understand the feeling, Enzo said. But understanding doesn't change the reality. What reality? Trevor knows where you are. The Sokolovs know where you are. And they're coming. When? Soon. I wanted to argue, to fight for some control. But fear was stronger than pride. That night, another calendar invite appeared. This one was different, more urgent. Tomorrow, noon, alone, last chance. Maya felt desperate. They weren't giving up. I deleted the message and tried to sleep. But every sound outside made me jump. Every car door. Every footstep. Leo slept peacefully in the bed beside mine. The glow-in-the-dark stars watched over us both. Around midnight, I gave up on sleep. I crept downstairs for water. The kitchen was dark, except for moonlight through the windows. I filled a glass and turned to leave. Luca sat at the table. The bracelet was in his hands again. Can't sleep either? He asked. Too much thinking. About tomorrow? About everything? I sat across from him. The bracelet caught the moonlight. Do you talk to her? Every day. What do you tell her? That I'm sorry. That I miss her. That I'm trying to be better. Maya felt moved by his honesty. What would she think of Leo? Luca smiled, the first real smile I'd seen from him. She'd love him. She always wanted a little brother. And me? She'd love you too. You take care of people. That's what she would notice first. You take care of people too. I take care of business. It's different. Is it? He looked at me then. Really looked. With you and Leo, it feels different. The words hung in the air. Important. Fragile. Luca? I know. Too complicated. Too dangerous. He stood. But that doesn't change how it feels. He left the bracelet on the table and disappeared upstairs. Maya felt conflicted. Drawn to him despite everything. The next morning, I made pancakes while Luca watched. Perfect golden circles. Leo clapped with each successful flip. You're a good teacher, Luca said. You're a good student when you want to be. I'm learning. Something passed between us. Understanding, connection, the beginning of trust. After breakfast, I tried to slip out again. I needed air, space, distance from the intensity of this house. I made it 3 blocks before a van pulled up beside me. The side door slid open. Rough hands reached out. Maya felt terror. Pure and absolute. I tried to scream. A cloth covered my face. Chemical smell. Darkness. The last thing I saw was my phone falling to the sidewalk. Screen cracking on impact. When I woke up, I was tied to a chair in a warehouse. The air tasted like rust and oil. Trevor paced in front of me. Finally awake, he said. We have a phone call to make. He held up a burner phone. The screen showed Luca's number. Time to see how much you're worth. Maya felt helpless. Her wrists were raw from the rope. He won't. Come, I lied. Sure he will. Rich guys like him don't like losing their toys. I'm not his toy. No? Then what are you? I didn't answer. Couldn't answer. Because I wasn't sure myself. Trevor dialed the number, put the phone on speaker. Luca? The voice was calm, controlled. Got something of yours, Trevor said. Silence stretched. Then, put her on. The phone was shoved at my face. Luca, don't. Are you hurt? No, but. Good. Stay calm. His voice was steady, reassuring. Maya felt less alone. Trevor grabbed the phone back. Here's how this works. You come alone, no guns, no backup, or the girl disappears forever. Where? Pier 17, 1 hour. The line went dead. I sat in the warehouse waiting, hoping, praying that Luca was smart enough to stay away. But deep down, I knew he was coming. And I knew that changed everything. The warehouse air tasted like rust and old rain. I sat tied to the metal chair, wrists burning from the rope. Trevor paced in front of me like a caged animal. He's late, one of the Sokolov men said. Heavy accent, cold eyes. He'll come, Trevor insisted. Rich boys don't like losing their things. Maya felt angry despite her fear. I wasn't anyone's thing. What makes you so sure? The Russian asked. You didn't see how he looked at her, like she was precious. I kept my face blank, didn't give them anything to work with. Outside, a car engine hummed. Footsteps approached the warehouse, measured, unhurried. Trevor stopped pacing. Showtime. The warehouse door opened. Luca's silhouette filled the frame. He wore a dark coat. His hands were visible, empty. He walked into the space with complete confidence. No fear, no hesitation. Let her go, he said simply. Not how this works, Trevor replied. You came alone like a good boy. Now we negotiate. Luca's eyes found mine across the distance. His voice was calm when he spoke. Are you hurt? No. Good. Something shifted in his expression. A decision made. What do you want? He asked Trevor. Money, territory, respect. Be specific. 500,000, port access, and a promise you'll stay out of Sokolov business. Luca was quiet for a moment. He studied the warehouse layout, the exits, the positions of Trevor's men. Counteroffer, he said finally. You're not in a position to negotiate, aren't I? His voice carried something new, something dangerous. A shadow moved near the far wall. Then another. Enzo appeared behind a pillar, silent as smoke. Maya felt hopeful. Luca hadn't come alone after all. I told you no backup, Trevor snarled. You told me a lot of things. Luca stepped closer. Most of them were lies. The lead Russian reached for his gun. Enzo was faster. A single shot echoed in the warehouse. The man dropped. Chaos erupted, shouts, gunfire, bodies moving in the shadows. Enzo appeared beside my chair. His knife cut through the rope in one clean slice. Stay down, he whispered. I rolled behind a concrete pillar. My wrists ached where the rope had cut. Maya felt scared but alert. The fighting was brief, professional. When the noise stopped, 3 men lay unconscious. The Russians were gone. Only Trevor remained. He backed against the warehouse wall. His tough guy act had crumbled completely. Luca approached him with careful steps. His coat was torn. Blood seeped through his white shirt. You made this personal, Luca said quietly. I needed the money. So you decided to hurt innocent people? She's not innocent. Nobody who runs with you is innocent. Maya felt insulted. Her jaw tightened. You're right about one thing, Luca said. She runs with me now. That makes her family. And family is protected. He reached into his coat. Trevor flinched. But Luca only pulled out an envelope, thick with cash. Here's your money, enough to disappear, forever. Trevor stared at the envelope. What's the catch? No catch, just a promise. If I see you again, if I hear your name again, if you so much as think about Maya or Leo. Luca's voice dropped to a whisper. I'll finish what we started here. Trevor grabbed the money and ran. He stumbled through the warehouse door without looking back. Maya felt relieved. It was over. Luca turned to me. His eyes were gentle again. Are you really okay? I nodded. but when I tried to stand, my legs shook. Luca caught me before I fell. His arms were warm, steady, safe. "I've got you," he said softly. "You came." Of course I came. Even though it was dangerous. Especially because it was dangerous. His hand touched my face. His thumb brushed across my cheek. "I told you. It's personal now." Maya felt drawn to him, grateful and something deeper. "Take me home," I whispered. "Which home?" I looked into his dark eyes, saw the question there, the hope. "Your home, our home." Something shifted in his expression, joy mixed with relief. "Our home," he repeated. The drive back was quiet. Luca's hand rested on the steering wheel. His knuckles were split from the fight. "Does it hurt?" I asked. "Nothing hurts right now." Maya felt understood. The danger was over. We were safe. At the townhouse, Rosa pressed hot tea into my hands. Leo hugged my legs tight. He'd been crying. His face was red and puffy. "I thought you left us," he whispered. "Never. I will never leave you." "Promise?" "Promise." Luca watched from the doorway. His expression was soft, tender. "Leo was very worried," Rosa said. "So was Luca." I looked at him. "Were you?" "Terrified," he admitted. "Completely terrified." The honesty in his voice made my chest tight. That evening, Leo fell asleep between us on the living room couch. A movie played on the television, some cartoon about talking animals. "He feels safe here," I said quietly. "So do you." "How can you tell?" "Your shoulders aren't tense. You're not watching the exits. You're just here." Maya felt seen, understood in a way that was new. "I've never had that before. Safety." "Neither have I. Not since Isabella." We sat in comfortable silence. Leo's breathing was even between us. "Luca?" "Yes?" "What happens now?" He was quiet for a long moment. "That depends on what you want to happen." "I want to stay." "Here? With you, both of us. Even knowing what I do, who I am?" "Especially knowing that." His hand found mine in the dim light, our fingers laced together. "There are things you need to understand," he said carefully. "Like what?" "My life isn't normal. There are rules, expectations, dangers. I understand danger. I've lived with it my whole life. This is different. How?" "Because now the danger comes from loving me." Maya felt brave suddenly, ready for truth. "Are you asking me to love you?" "I'm asking if you already do." The question hung in the air, important, life-changing. "Yes," I said simply. "I already do." His breath caught. "Maya, I know it's complicated. I know it's dangerous. I don't care. You should care. But I don't." He turned to face me fully. Leo shifted between us but didn't wake. "If you stay, there's no going back. My world doesn't have exits." "I'm not looking for exits anymore." "Are you sure?" "I've never been more sure of anything." Luca's eyes searched mine, looking for doubt, for hesitation. "What about Leo? What about him? He deserves a normal life. He deserves a safe life, with people who love him." I touched Leo's hair. "That's what you're offering." "I'm offering protection, security, family." "That sounds pretty normal to me." Something shifted in his expression. The last wall came down. "I love you," he said quietly. "Both of you. More than I thought I could love anyone again." Maya felt complete, like pieces clicking into place. "Show me," I whispered. He leaned across the sleeping boy between us. His hand cupped my face. His thumb traced my jawline. "Are you sure?" "Yes." His lips touched mine softly, carefully, like I might break. But I didn't break. I kissed him back, deeper, more certain. When we broke apart, his forehead rested against mine. "I was so scared I'd lost you," he whispered. You didn't. You won't. Promise? Promise. Leo stirred between us. His eyes opened slowly. Are you kissing? He asked sleepily. Maya felt embarrassed. My cheeks heated. Maybe a little, Luca said seriously. Good. That means we're a family now. The simple statement hit like truth. Leo understood what the adults were still figuring out. Is that what you want? Luca asked him. To be a family? Yes. Can we have pancakes tomorrow? Burnt pancakes? The best kind. Luca laughed. Rich and warm and free. Burnt pancakes it is. The next morning brought fresh possibilities. I woke up in the guest room, but it didn't feel temporary anymore. It felt like home. Downstairs, Luca was already destroying breakfast. Smoke filled the kitchen. The fire alarm beeped angrily. Need help? I called. I've got this under control. A pancake hit the ceiling. Leo dissolved into giggles. Definitely under control, I agreed. We cooked together. My hands guiding his movements learning patience, trust. Better? He asked when the first perfect pancake emerged. Perfect. Like you. Maya felt loved, cherished. Over breakfast, we talked about practical things. Leo's school, my job at the diner, normal life in an abnormal situation. You don't have to go back to the diner, Luca said. I like working. Then work somewhere safer, closer to home. What would I do? Whatever you want. The freedom was overwhelming. Choice without desperation. Security without sacrifice. I'll think about it. Take your time. But time felt unlimited now, stretching out in possibilities instead of ending in dead ends. That afternoon, Luca showed us the rest of the house. The library with floor-to-ceiling books, the garden with space for Leo to run, the office where business happened behind closed doors. This room is private, he explained. Always knock first. Dangerous meetings? Boring paperwork mostly, but yes, sometimes dangerous meetings. Maya felt respectful of boundaries. Trust required space as well as closeness. What if something happens? What if you're in trouble? Then you take Leo and leave. Rosa has instructions. Enzo has plans. I won't leave you. You will if I ask you to. His voice was serious. Final. Luca, promise me, if something happens, you protect Leo first. Everything else is secondary. The request was reasonable, necessary, but it hurt to agree. I promise. Good. He kissed my forehead. Soft and grateful. 2 weeks passed in quiet domesticity. Leo started speaking in full sentences. He helped Rosa with cooking. He read books with Luca before bed. I found work at a bakery near the river. Safe neighborhood, flexible hours. The owner, Mrs. Chen, didn't ask questions about my past. Evenings were family dinners, homework help, television shows that made us all laugh. Maya felt normal for the first time in years. Is this what happiness feels like? I asked Luca one night. We were sitting on the back porch. Leo was asleep upstairs. The river moved quietly in the darkness. I think so. I'd almost forgotten. Me too. His arm tightened around my shoulders. I fit perfectly against his side. Any regrets? About what? This life? These choices? Me. Maya felt certain, absolutely sure. None. You? Only that we didn't find each other sooner. We found each other when we were supposed to. You believe in fate? I believe in groceries and white lilies. I believe in burnt pancakes and children who learn to trust again. What about love? Especially love. He turned to kiss me. Deeper this time, more certain. The future felt bright and safe and ours. 6 months later, the river market hummed with Sunday morning activity. Leo tugged Luca toward a flower stall. The boy who'd been silent was now chatty, confident, happy. He wore a Moretti family ring on a chain around his neck, a symbol of belonging. "Lilies?" Leo asked clearly. Luca smiled and bought 2 bouquets. White lilies with long green stems. "One for Isabella?" Leo asked. "One for Isabella. One for our table." Maya felt moved by the tradition, honoring the past while building the future. We visited the cemetery first. The small headstone was covered with fresh flowers. Isabella Maria Moretti, beloved daughter. Leo placed his bouquet carefully beside the others. His lips moved in silent words. A conversation with a sister he'd never met, but somehow knew. Luca knelt beside the grave. His voice was quiet but steady. "I brought you a new brother and a new mommy. They're taking good care of me." My throat closed with emotion. Maya felt included in something sacred. "She would love them," Leo said confidently. "How do you know?" "Because you love them, and daughters always want their daddies to be happy." Luca's eyes filled with tears. Good tears, healing tears. We walked home with groceries balanced between us. The second bouquet of lilies peeked out of the shopping bag. At the townhouse, Leo ran ahead to hold the door. Such a gentleman. Such a confident little boy. "We're home," I called as we entered. The words felt perfect. True. Final. Luca stopped me in the foyer. His hands cupped my face. "Are we?" he asked. "Really home?" "Yes, we're home." "All of us?" "All of us." He kissed me then, sweet and sure. Leo cheered from the kitchen. Rosa called that dinner was ready. This was home. This was family. This was the future we'd chosen together. Maya felt complete. Finally and forever complete.